I've been creating content on Canva from probably over 7, 8 years now. I don't remember. I really don't remember. But there's so many things that has changed. And the first one I'm going to show you is that you can, the pages, the access to get to the different pages that you want to, right here. Let's just click on this. And I can just click on a page and it comes up, and I don't have to do this scrolling down. Let's close that. I don't have to be scrolling back and trying to remember I don't have to do that. What I usually do is click on this, and then, which was the long way, and then choose the page that I want to open, and then it will take me to the page, which is page 25. But no, you have to, and apparently this has been here for a while. This is one that is very helpful, right? So I'll get right back to this page, page 23. Now the next thing, I've always wanted to have just a thin border around things, sometimes just to spice up the design, make it look a little bit more appealing, right? And I just wasn't able to do that. If you go over to this section where you have the lines and the shape, there was just never one that would give me a shape that would give me the thin line that I want. And I could even make the line much thinner by coming here. But before we get to that, let me show you how I did it, right? So I'm just going to do the reverse, and then you can figure it out, right? Let's do this together. So the first thing I did, this transparent section that has been added on Canva is amazing, right? So I decided I wanted it transparent. I could have chosen a color. I could have chosen any color, literally chosen any color. I chose to make it transparent. Once I did that, once I made it transparent, I came to this section and then decide that I want to do the border. Now this is like in Photoshop or Illustrator, you have stroke and you have fill. So in this section would be the fill, and this would be the stroke. This is a stroke. So here you just click on here, and then I can make the stroke as thick as whatever. You can imagine. Let's just take it back down to 2, I think it was. I like it at 2. It's very thin and nice. That says 2. Or I can just type it in. Right, that's 1. The next thing you're able to change is 33. Now I can round the corners. I can get rounded corners. My goodness, isn't this wonderful? I don't know. Canva has outdone themselves again. I am excited. This just make you want to create. This just make you want to create all over again. Alright, so we've done this stroke and fill that I just showed you. I've done pages. Now I'm going to show you how many pages. This is 100 page, and I can go to. So let me just create a new page, not to destroy my thing, but I am going to put some shapes. Oh, and to get the stroke and fill, I used these. Once I drop them on the canvas, let's just make it big so that you can see it. Once I drop it on the canvas and let it make it center, I can change it to nothing and nothing for the fill, and click on. You can choose to make it be have a full color line, that make it be a full line. It can be a broken line, right? Let's click off so that you see it, and we can even get broken lines, different variation of broken lines. This is so cute, right? Right. So, and then you can reverse. You can just put in back the fill. You can literally put in back the fill or no fill. This is awesome. The next thing that, and I'm going to go through this real quick. The next thing I'm going to do is, let's just make this, let's just resize, and I'm just going to drop in a color right now because I want to show you something. I want the fill off, no stroke at all, so therefore it looks like this. And now I am going to duplicate this a number of times. And you know, sometimes you're creating, you want things to line up according to, and I'm sure I did this in a video already, but as somebody was asking me this in one of my jobs, so I just think, let me just put it back here as I show the rest of stuff. So if it's not neat, and this is just eyeballing the thing, right? You could go and let me not make it so accurate, because it looked quite accurate. Let me just make it and we no. Well, let's see what will happen. We're gonna go and say position, and this position bar has gotten really awesome, but let's take it one step at a time. Let me just take it one step at a time. We can come to here and say tidy up, so it wouldn't change it wouldn't change that. I could go back and just, you know, fix it the way it was supposed to. I could. It needs to be 180. It needs to be 180. And just for that's just for, I will just duplicate it again, and then never mind. Right, and then just say tidy up, and tidy up will create even spacing between each element, right? Each shape. The other thing is, and that I want to show you, is rotate. Now look at this. I can say I want to rotate this. If you never know your x-axis and your y-axis before, now you're going to need to know it, right? This is your y-axis and this is your x-axis. Your x-axis is your horizontal, and remember we would have done this in primary school. Now if you want to rotate the image, you could just come here and tell it I want to rotate it 45 degrees, and it would just 45 degrees. Look at that, evenly, right? I want it back at 0. Oh, I just change it. I'm ambitious. Let me say I want it 70 degrees. Right, 70 degrees and go bam, and that's it. 70 degrees, right? So as we're doing that, let me go to this page. Sometimes not understanding. So we've done rotate. The next one I'm going to do is, believe it or not, people, Canva has done it. It is here. Layers are here. See right here under. You'd have to go over position, and then you move from arrange to layer. Usually it's on arrange. These are the layers. And I'm going to show you. Let's just say I'm looking for a photo, and I am going to put this as the background, right? Really ridiculous to put this as the background, but bear with me, you see. Um, okay, let's undo. Um, Let me just manually drag it over so I can manipulate. Um, I am going to click on it where nothing is. Close this back so I can have more space and zoom in a little bit. Alright, so for this is you want to know where. If you notice, I'm clicking on things and you are seeing that I can actually click stuff that you're, it's not very visible. You want to manipulate and manage your layers properly. You don't want things to move around that you don't want to move, stuff like that. So we're gonna go position. Let's go. And this is where it is. This is the layer that it's on. But let's say we want it on the bottom. I could literally come over to arrange. I could drag it to the bottom because these layers are you can move stuff around. So we don't have to be going through that long process of trying to get things to the bottom, or where we can be very precise in where you want to take it, right? Or the next thing we could do is go and say set as background, and it filled the entire background, right? We could, my recording is over the section that I need, but let's click on the background and we could turn down the opacity all the way down, all the way down. And this is an almanac. We just want a smidge of what was there to come out. Can you imagine that? We can do this. I mean, I guess you could do it before, but the fact that you're able to manipulate the layers now easier, it just make everything just nicer. I'm excited. I'm excited about the layers. When I designed, it was hard to get to stuff. No, you can. Right? So we have covered five new game-changing things that you were able to do in Canva. Follow me to the next video and I'll show you more. There's so much more.